There's a red moon rising on the Cuyahoga River, rolling into Cleveland to the lake. There's a red moon rising on the Cuyahoga.
А сейчас Кливленд Браунз, американский футбол и стадион. Блин, он офигенный. Как жалко, что не получится на него попасть. И в Питтсбург тоже меня не пустили, но завтра я буду смотреть матч между Браунз и Стиллерс. Буду смотреть с фанатом Кливленд Браунз. И вот там, надеюсь, будет что поснимать, о чем поговорить, о чем расспросить. Попытаюсь здесь найти официальный магазинчик. Скорее всего, его нет, или он есть, но работает только в день матча. Ну и бог бы с ним. Самое главное, что к этому стадику надо прикоснуться. И смотрите, все входные группы имеют свое название. Вот это University Hospitals. И Джим Браун, номер 32. Кливленд Браунз, running back. 1957-1965. Я так думаю, что он играл в этот период за команду. Джим Браун был лидирующим рашером в Национальной футбольной лиге. 8 из 9 сезонов, которые он отыграл, и установил рекорд Национальной футбольной лиги по наибольшему количеству набранных ярдов за средний вынос. 5,22 ярда за карьеру. Также он установил рекорд франшизы Кливленд Браунз. А я напомню, что в Америке и вообще в американском футболе команды называются не клубами, вернее, они являются не клубами, а франшизами. По крайней мере, это так называется. Именно поэтому команды могут переезжать из одного места, из одного города в другой. Возвращаемся сюда. Занес он 106 тачдаунов благодаря прорывам, рашам, так называемым. Я просто не знаю, как это правильно перевести, и вообще можно ли это как-то перевести правильно на русский язык. Его номер, 32-й номер, выведен из оборота сейчас. И ни один из игроков Браунз не носил номер 32 с тех пор, как Джим Браун ушел на пенсию, покинул команду. Вот только непонятно, был ли он белым или был ли он черным. Ну, судя по тому, что он играл в промежуток между 57 по 65 год, скорее всего, он был белым. Это история. А вот достижения Джима Брауна в Национальной футбольной лиге. Черт, это офигенно круто, это история. Жалко, что не получится попасть на стадион, но сейчас мы его обязательно с Лешей, с товарищем, обязательно обойдем. Может быть, получится что-то найти открытое, но вряд ли. Но неважно. Can you tell, please, something about the rivalry between Cleveland Browns and Pittsburgh Steelers, the game we're going to watch right now?
Okay, so I'm not a native of Cleveland, so I actually grew up in Pennsylvania, not far from Pittsburgh. So my introduction to the rivalry is on the other side, is from the Pittsburgh side. And as long as I've been following it, Cleveland has always been Pittsburgh's rival, but I'm 31, and in all that time, Pittsburgh wins almost every single time.
And today you're supporting who?
Cleveland.
Why?
Because I live here now.
But in the very beginning you supported Steelers.
I never really felt that close of an attachment to the Steelers, if that makes sense. I grew up relatively close to Pittsburgh, about an hour and a half away from Pittsburgh. So there wasn't like a real close connection. My parents aren't from Pittsburgh. My parents are from the Midwest. Like you just don't feel that emotional attachment like you do. Like I live in Cleveland now, so I can go to the stadium. It's 10 minutes away. I didn't connect with the people that like the Steelers, so I was always rooting against the Steelers when I was younger. It didn't matter who they were playing. I always rooted against them.
Funny.
Now I'm here in Cleveland. It makes it easy. I can just have one team that I root against. So the thing about Cleveland is they've been bad for a long time, and the fans, they stick with the Browns no matter what, no matter how bad they are.
Yeah.
When I lived in Pennsylvania, the Steelers, if they had a bad year, the fans wouldn't stick with them. So it was hard for me to. I really respect that about Cleveland, and that's why I'll root for the Browns, because the fans here have no reason to root for them. They've been so bad.
This is what I'm so interested in. Browns are losing almost all the games of the season for several years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
There is a Cleveland Cavaliers who get into the NBA Finals for 2 years in a row. You have a baseball team. And anyhow, the stadium, the stands of First Energy is always full.
Mm-hmm.
It's always packed. And it's really very interesting for me why the fans are so supportive. Or if it's not just the fans, then maybe the franchise is doing some things, some activities which make people come to the stadium.
It's definitely not the activities or the way they've been playing that are making people go. Cleveland isn't the biggest city in America. It's not like a New York or Los Angeles where there's a lot of other stuff to do. And Cleveland went through an economic downturn in the last decade, and it hit this town hard. So I think that football, it just means more to people here. It's not about the Browns. It's not about what do you have on your shirt, the Browns. It's the first part. It's Cleveland. It's about having pride in your city, no matter what. No matter what the team does, it's Cleveland. If it was the Browns, if it was the Reds.
First of all, Cleveland, and then only Browns.
Yeah, doesn't matter how bad they do. People here really take pride in the city, and no matter how bad the team is, they'll always stick with them because it says Cleveland.
Смотрим футбольчик с местной пивашкой. Вот она. Пивоваренная компания «Великие озера». Командор Перри. Бледный эль. Индия, бледный эль. Дэвид показывает нам свои книжки, посвященные американскому футболу. Золотой Супербоул. 50 лет большой игры. Raiders, Vikings. Did they ever win the Super Bowl?
So they won an NFL championship
Before it was Super Bowl.
They've never even been to the Super Bowl. There's only, I think there's 4 teams that have never been to the Super Bowl. They're one of them. So very bad luck.
Dave Lombardi Trophy.
But he's running. Sport.
Anyone can play.
Любой может играть.
Да, я понял.
Okay, you told about quarterbacks, and now I have another question. A great one.
Yeah.
About Colin Kaepernick.
Okay.
Tell me, what happened? What's going on right now?
So he
was a quarterback,
he was a quarterback
of 49ers.
Right, and he was really good. He took him to the Super Bowl. They were like 1 play away from winning it. And
he is not pretty old.
No, he's young. He's my age. Or he's probably a little younger than me. And basically,
So 30, 31, something like this.
There's 32 teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
And each of those teams has 1 quarterback.
Yeah.
So out of all the world, you're one of 32 guys that do your job the best. So when you're out there on TV, you have a pretty high platform. Like you can, when you speak or when you do something,
everybody hears you.
Because there's only so many of these guys, and guys that are as good as him, there's even less. There's been a couple things going on in the media where, like, black people have always had it bad in America. And some things started happening. Some police were shooting, or just general civilians were shooting unarmed black people. And as a black person, Colin Kaepernick felt like, okay, here I am. I'm a quarterback of an NFL team.
And I express my disagree.
Millions of dollars, and I'm not doing anything to help the situation in America with this racism going on. And Michael Jordan's famous for not. Michael Jordan never did anything for the well-being of black people in America. And so Colin Kaepernick felt like, you know what, I want to
do
do more than just I give some money to like a charity. Like I want to do something so people have to listen to me and take action. And the thing that he decided to do was they play the national anthem before the game. He said, I will kneel because they televise it. And people will say, why are you kneeling? And I will say, I'm protesting against the way the police are treating black people in America. And it became a big deal because people get very emotional about the national anthem. So what the media did was, on one side, they would say, well, you're disrespecting the anthem, you're disrespecting the military, you're disrespecting the police because you're kneeling. And he was saying, I don't mean that as disrespect. I'm trying to bring attention to the fact that, you know, these minorities, these black people in America are getting shot for no reason.
And at the moment, I'm not sure that African Americans are minorities in the United States.
Still are.
Still are?
Yeah, still are. And he was just trying to bring attention to that and maybe force people to talk about this, force people to say like, hey, this is something bad that's happening. What the media did is they were like, well, we don't want to talk about the problems that people are having. We want to talk about you kneeling and why it's
during
bad.
the anthem.
Yeah. Donald Trump, our president, makes it out to be like you're disrespecting the troops. He's the guy who has the power to say, he could go out there and say, well, hey, maybe we need to
pay attention to this problem.
No, but the people that vote for him, they don't want to hear that. They want you to say, don't kneel for the anthem. So what does he say? You're disrespecting the troops. And so you have, we were talking, that's where politics and sports intersect, and I think that's where people kind of get tired of it. Colin Kaepernick doesn't have a job.
But he was banned, yeah? As far as I understand. Not officially, but unofficially.
And it's extremely obvious to anyone who follows American football that he was banned because there's guys that are a lot worse than him.
And they still play.
But no team wants to bring him in because of the negative reaction. Because he said, I'm going to kneel until something changes.
Любопытная особенность американцев. Правда, лично я сталкиваюсь с этим впервые, но мне кажется, что это уже показатель. Плюс у Ильфа и Петрова они говорили о том же. Американцы крайне дружелюбные люди к незнакомым. В том смысле, что мы стояли у памятника Джиму Брауну, и проходила пара, отец с сыном. Я у них спросил, есть ли официальный магазин здесь, на стадионе. Они сказали, что мы не знаем, может быть и есть, может быть и нет, точно есть в городе, здесь не факт. Ну и ушли. Ну, собственно говоря, ладно, мы все равно собирались обойти стадион и, может быть, что-то еще подснять, посмотреть, увидеть, прикоснуться. Вот, пожалуйста, легенды Кливленд Браунз. Так вот, прошу прощения, что перебился. В итоге через какое-то время, пока мы фоткались у памятника, подбежал пацан. Видно, что они прошли дальше, он вернулся и сказал нам, что да, официальный магазин здесь есть, и более того, он работает, открыт. Очень мило, очень приятно. То есть люди заморочились, люди вернулись, хотя могли бы идти дальше, и слова бы им никто не сказал. Ну а вот все игроки, легенды Кливленд Браунз. Текл Майк Маккормак, Пол Уорфилд, wide receiver, Фрэнк Гатски, центр, наверняка выходец из Польши, Лерой Келли. Класс. Сейчас, кстати, будет любопытно увидеть, есть ли здесь Джим Браун, и если он здесь есть, то заодно и узнаем, был ли он черным или нет. Но, скорее всего, да, скорее всего, он был черным, прошу прощения. Видимо, я ошибся. Я просто думал, что в то время Джим Браун, ну да, похож на афроамериканца, фулбэк. Ну и круто, и круто. Я просто почему-то думал, что изначально в американский футбол играли только белые, что, наверное, так и было, но с определенного момента черные тоже стали неотъемлемой частью американского футбола, и сейчас большинство футболистов именно афроамериканцы. Ну что, ProShop, официальный магазин. Сейчас здесь будем затариваться.